to Mystery Theater, where we provide a comprehensive overview of cases in a bite-sized, digestible format, in an attempt to help solve the cases that haunt the minds of victims' loved ones. Tonight we take a look at Shelly Miscavige, wife of Church of Scientology head David Miscavige, and try to understand why a public figure dropped off the radar and out of the public eye, never to be seen or heard from again in August of 2007. Did Shelly just decide on a life of privacy, or is there something more nefarious at play? We'll attempt to answer that question on tonight's Mystery Theater. The Church of Scientology is a peculiar tale, with extremely devoted members including Hollywood royalty such as Tom Cruise and John Travolta, but with a controversial reputation that includes everything from brainwashing, to manipulation, to forced disconnection from church patrons' family members. Founded by science fiction writer L. Ron Hubbard, the church, and I use that term loosely, continues to chug along, despite its controversies, under the watchful leadership of David Miscavige, its charismatic leader who was raised in a family of Scientologists, when his father Ron Miscavige joined the church in 1971. Ron would later leave the church, citing a need to physically escape, and claiming he was being followed, watched, and even nearly assassinated at the order of his own son. In December of 1982, David married Shelly Barnett, herself having been raised as a member of Scientology's C organization since age 12. As a young member, Shelly was described as quiet, petite, and younger than most of the other girls in her group at that time. After her marriage to David, Shelly would join her husband's group as a COB assistant, the chairman of the board of Scientology's Religious Technology Center. It has been claimed that Shelly was closely involved in the church's liaison with its highest profile member, the aforementioned Tom Cruise, with Shelly supervising Penelope Cruz's auditing and assisting her in the church's Purification Rundown program when she began a 3-year relationship with Tom. When Tom and Penelope separated, Shelly is reported to have led a church program to find him a new girlfriend, interviewing around 100 young female Scientologist actresses without even telling them why. Upon completion of these interviews, actress Nazanin Boniadi was introduced to Tom, and the pair dated for a few months before Tom broke it off in January of 2005. The search then resumed, with more actresses being interviewed for what they actually thought was an upcoming Mission Impossible film. Upon completion of this round of interviews, Katie Holmes was introduced to Tom and subsequently married him, although Tom's attorney denies that any Scientology executive set him up with any girlfriends. In 2006, David Miscavige left the church's international base, and that upon his return, Shelly's mood is said to have visibly changed. And then church spokesman Mike Rinder says she actually asked him if David was still wearing his wedding ring. And Shelly Miscavige, once a fairly public figure of the church, has not been seen or heard from in public since August of 2007. 2 missing person reports have been filed in relation to Shelly, one by Lawrence Wright and another by actress Leah Remini, who, after being raised in the church, turned her back on it and is now a very strong public opponent of Scientology. The LAPD has classified the missing reports as unfounded, indicating Shelly Miscavige is not missing, and that they in fact located and spoke with her in August of 2013. But Remini and critics of the church are not convinced, with conspiracy theories continuing to swirl over the possibility of the church's money, power, and influence being able to cover up what might have actually happened to Shelly and sweep it under the rug. Theories range anywhere from Shelly Miscavige having been murdered to her being held by the church against her will. Remini has spoken about Shelly's disappearance on multiple occasions, including the Tom Cruise-Katie Holmes wedding and her 2018 A&E television show Leah Remini, Scientology in the Aftermath. But church officials refuse to comment on Shelly Miscavige's whereabouts, saying only she is not missing and devotes her time to working for the church, and claiming Remini is unhinged and abusive and should be charged for knowingly filing a missing persons report incorrectly. Those that believe Shelly may be dead or being held against her will cite Ron Miscavige's claims of having to escape and almost being killed by his son for it, as well as the extremely suspicious nature of Shelly's mother, Mary Flo Barnett, a longtime Scientologist who was found dead on September 8th of 1985, with 3, quote, somewhat superficial rifle shots to the chest and a fatal shot to the head along with slit wrists, which inexplicably was ruled a suicide. So is Shelly Miscavige alive? And if so, is she being held against her will? Has the church's influence managed to cover up her true fate, or has she just decided to live a less public life in response to either church criticisms or suspicions of her husband's actions? We unfortunately won't know until when and if she decides to make her first public appearance in well over a decade. Until then, leave your comments below and state what you believe to be the true location of Shelly Miscavige. And please don't forget to subscribe to the channel by clicking the subscribe button below. This has been Friday Mystery Theater, and I'll see you next time.